Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tek Torrent Podcast. How's everyone doing today? Let's see, just gonna make sure all my audio settings are good here. All right, my mic is working. We're all good. All right. Hello, everyone. We are all here today. I was a little bit on edge. I wanted to test a new intro, and I had some problems at the last second there. Okay, so on today's podcast, we're going to take a look at live chat real quick. Looks like Y2K Anonymous is here. How you doing, man? They said probably going to be eating dinner while you go live. Have fun. All right, man. Thank you for coming by. So we got a few things to talk about today. We're going to go over how I think mining is dead for now. At least that's what I'm going to tell everyone. That way I can get more of the share of stuff. We're going to be talking about my Tesla Solar, which feeds right into that. The long wait times and whatnot. RAM from Corsair RMA. Some of my followers on YouTube had a different experience than I did. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about my used GoPro that I got on eBay and how that exactly went. All that in here on the Tek Torrent Podcast. If you are here in live chat or if you're watching, make sure you let me know down in live chat so I can say hi to you as well. And we're going to get rolling here in just a moment. So I'm going to let live chat build up if anyone's here and stuff. Make sure you also hit that like button. That's so important. Tells YouTube that, well, you like this podcast and it keeps it going. So a lot of people might be a little triggered when I say mining is dead. But those of you that know me know that I've been saying mining is dead since forever. I don't think I've ever said it is not dead. I don't think I've ever said that it's alive and well. I've always joked that mining is dead because, well, I don't want you all to do it too and take all of my share of stuff. I want to make sure that I get all the hash rate. Okay, so let's go over this. The reason why I currently say mining is dead is because of the cost of electricity versus the profitability, okay? Right now, it is currently cheaper to actually just buy the coin in most cases, especially when you consider the cost of hardware, electricity, uptime, and maintenance, okay? So for example, where I live in a certain part of the country, which if you are in my Discord, you would know where I live because I've doxed myself several times. My electric rate is 35 cents a kilowatt delivered, which is absolutely insane. It's quite a bit. And it's scheduled to go up another 40% by the end of this year. Yeah, guys. So that means I'm going to be well over 40 cents a kilowatt, pushing into the 50s within 2 years. And that's just incredibly insane regarding the cost of energy. And, you know, there's many factors as to why the cost of energy is high or low right now. A lot of people blame it on COVID, inflation, all that good stuff. And yes, all that stuff matters. Also, the special military action, as they call it in Ukraine, by the good old country Russia, is also not making things any better either. So, let's just go over some real world numbers. So, for those of you that don't know, I heat my house with mining, with cryptocurrency mining. And that's how I usually heat my house. That's how I've heated my house for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Even during the downtimes, I still heated my house. Since 2015, 2016, like end of 2016 is when I started doing that. And, well, it's been good and bad. So this past time, we had a crash a year ago, almost 2 years ago at this point. And it hasn't been very profitable, but, you know, I got a freaking 3.5 kilowatts of mining rig going pretty much 24/7 when it's below zero outside, when it's really cold. And so from about roughly end of November to just the beginning of this month, in fact, because it's starting to warm up quite a bit, I spent almost $800 a month on electricity to heat the house. And yes, that is including the calculation for my home use, like the water heater, the stove, my car. Yes, I have an EV if you don't know. Yeah, so for example, in the month of February, my electric bill was $1,600. Yeah, $1,600. And to some of you, that might be like, oh, $1,600, that's nothing. Well, you also got to remember, guys, I live in a residential area and it's in my house. It's only 3.5 to 4 kilowatts of mining, and it's not that much when you consider the price, which is just absolutely insane. So yeah, I spent nearly $800 a month alone on electricity just to heat the house. Now in hindsight, I could have just not spent the money on those graphics cards and all that, and just put that money toward my heating system, which actually would have turned out to be better. It would have been roughly the same amount, but at least I'd have a heating system in my house. The one that's currently in it is not very good. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at live chat real quick before we move on here. Let's take a look. So we got Charles Foley. How you doing, man? Thank you for joining the live stream. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Thanks for coming by. Got Creating Space. Guys, Creating Space is our former intern. He's no longer an intern. He's a great content creator, does a lot of cool stuff. Check out his channel. Creating Space, you have permission to post that in the live chat if you would like. And that is our lovely Andrew. Thank you for joining us. We got Integra Guy 041. What's up, everyone? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming by, bro. And we got All Set Miner. Hey, TekShinji, love you talking about mining. Yeah, I don't talk much about mining anymore because, well, you know, the algorithm doesn't really like it as much anymore. And, you know, that was just kind of a side piece for me. The problem with YouTube is if you make a bunch of content about something and all those people sign on and subscribe, then it kind of pigeonholes you into that only. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to transition my channel without any detriments. I mean, you see my views have gone down crazy. It's because most of my subscriber base, like I'd say like 70%, is from the mining scene. And well, if you're not posting mining content, guess what they're not going to do? Watch your channel. Let's see. Allset Miner says you have to mine to feed the tickling addiction. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, so I actually don't mine during the summer. I sell all my cards right around now. Actually, I just sold a good chunk of them. They're all gone. And during the summer, I just use air conditioning. I actually don't mine because I don't really see the point for it. Then I use that money to build back up my GPU stock by October, and then I start mining again. However, this year, things may be different. I'll explain in just a moment. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Tesla Solar. For those of you that don't know, Tesla Solar, or otherwise known as Tesla Energy, is made by the company that you all know and love, Daddy Elon Musk, okay? So Tesla Energy is a division of Tesla that specializes in solar panels, batteries, and infrastructure regarding that, such as their famous solar tiles, in which they're already on V3, as in version 3 of the solar tile. When it finally gets to my house, I'll probably be on V3.5 or V4, we don't know. And I'll explain why. So I actually applied for the Tesla Solar project about a year ago, around March of 2022. So it's been a year since that time. We've had some revisions, some changes since then. And well, guess what? I still haven't gotten my Tesla Solar, and I will explain all that momentarily. So I'm going to go over to my dashboard site and kind of show you what's been going on. So let's go over here, and I'm going to go ahead and transition over. Let's see, is this... No, this isn't it. Hold on one second. This thing is being hella sus and it's not working correctly. Why is that? Okay. We're just going to ignore the fact my browser's broken. Okay, here. Let me know if this works, guys. All right, you guys should still be able to hear me. Yep, I see my audio still coming through. And you guys should be able to see what's on my screen here. So I'm logged into my Tesla account online. This is all live. It's all live right here. You can see everything. And if you really want to dox me, you can look up all these numbers and contact your local governments and find out where all these permits go to. So yeah, go ahead. All right. So I got a 13.6 kilowatt solar roof system with 2 power walls, okay? And as you can see, we are currently on the installation is ready step. I'm going to zoom in there so you guys can see. So we're currently on the installation ready step, okay? And the next one is they got to schedule it so I can actually get it installed. So what concerns me is it's on installations ready. We'll reach out you soon. Approval to install prior to installation to blah, 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 blah. So I've already checked with my local town hall and my utility. The permits and all that have been filed a long time ago. So I don't know why this hasn't been approved yet. But after this approval is it happens, that's when they'll install the system. Then of course we got the city inspection, final payment, approval to power on, and then all that good stuff. Completed steps. So we've already got the system design and we've already got the permit, okay? And as you can see, that's like a little picture of it. Now let me go over the cost of this, which may shock you. So if you guys want to just sit down in your nice little seats and make sure that you don't freak out when I show you this, okay? Before we move on though, I'm going to take a look at chat real quick. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. All Set Miner says tinkering. Autocorrect hates me. Yes, yeah, autocorrect hates me as well. Mr. Patrick Gligan, how are you? Okay, we love Patrick Gligan. We love him being here. Yo, finally didn't miss another live stream. Yeah, thanks for coming, man. You know, if you hit that bell icon, you'll never miss one. Hit all notifications so you know when a video comes out. Don't worry, I won't be bothering you that much because, you know, I don't make that many videos. Like, I'm not that big of a content creator. All Set Miner says it's good. You waited as long as they're able to lock you in the 2022 price range versus 2023. Yeah. Creating Space says it works. Yes. All Set Miner says, oh nice, solar tiles. Is it better than panels? Oh, I'll get into that in just a second. We're about to go into the cost and stuff like that in just a moment. So let's change back on over. All right, guys, remember you're all sitting down, right? Okay, because this might be a little bit upsetting here. Let me make sure this thing's working. It wasn't working earlier, so okay, it's working. All right, so let's zoom in here. I'm gonna actually move my face over a little bit because this is actually blocking me. So let me fix that. I'm gonna move my face over here, and I unfortunately can't zoom in any much more. So you're just gonna have to trust me on this, and it's gonna look like I'm looking the wrong way. All right, guys. So here is a total installed cost, which is $77,000. Okay, guys, $77,000. Now you might be going, Shinji, that is an absolutely incredible amount of money. And yes, you are absolutely correct. Please let me explain why I won't be paying anything close to that, okay? So let me open my fancy calculator. And I'm just going to go ahead and move this over so you guys can see. Now, there's a lot of tax incentives and things out there. And by the way, if you are a U.S. citizen, I thank each and every one of you for paying your taxes, being a patriot, and standing up for what we love in America, which is me taking your tax money right out of your pocket. So I really appreciate you guys being here, and I really do appreciate you guys are amazing. This project could not have been done without you. I will personally come over your house and slip it off. No, I'm joking, guys. But there is a federal tax credit incentive, and regardless of your opinion, I mean, everyone has a different spicy opinion about it. Unfortunately, you know, some people don't like it, some people do. The way I see it, it's there. It got voted into law, and, you know, I'm going to use it. So the $77,000, which let's call it 80 grand for easy numbers, because there's probably going to be cost overruns when they find things they got to do. So the $88,000, right? Sorry, 80,000. It's not Back to the Future. The $80,000, right? That includes the re-roof project. So if you go over to, oh, where did my mouse go? Okay, so if you look at the two power walls right there, solar roof material. Okay, there's 18,000. Pre-construction cost re-roof. So they're estimating it'll cost $6,491 or roughly $7,000 to do the re-roof. What that is, they're gonna have to take off the old roof and get it ready for the new one, which may include plywood and stuff like that. So if we take that out, okay, because technically speaking, that is not part of the. Here, let me make myself bigger here. Technically speaking, that is not technically part of the. It's not part of the federal tax credit incentive. Okay, it only covers the cost of batteries, installation, materials that are directly related to solar energy. However, there is a legal loophole I can use to try to claim that $6,000 as well. But for the sake of this argument, we're going to remove that. So we're going to leave it at a flat $70,000. Okay, so $70,000 for the entire applicable cost of the project times 30% is 21, right? So 70 minus 21. So we are now at $50,000, okay? Roughly speaking, these are all rough numbers for sake of time. Now, the power walls cost an additional $18,000, okay? So we're going to take 49 minus 18,000. Oh, press the wrong button there. So 49 minus 18. These are all in thousands. So to install a, this is complete installation from beginning to end, excluding the cost of the roof, because that's something I would have to have done anyway. I do need a new roof. So to install solar alone is $31,000, all said and done. This is after the federal tax credit. Now, $31,000, it sounds like a lot, but it's actually one of the lowest. Let me repeat that. It is one of the lowest quotes I have received from any solar installer. And I tried Revision, I tried Sunrun, I tried a couple of different local ones. I got about, I think 5, but 3 technically only count. I'll explain why later. I got 5 different quotes to compare it to, and they all came in well above $31,000 for a 11.67 kilowatt system, which that is not correct. As you can see from this one over here, it is a 13.68 kilowatt system. And I don't know why there's a discrepancy here. As you can see right here, I started in April of last year, and I had some revisions since then. And it took 6 months to get those revisions fully processed. So it didn't really apply until October of last year, which is just insane. Tesla's not very fast, people. So let me transition back to me here. I'm going to take a look at chat real quick before we move on. Let's see. Techman TY says, Tesla time, eh? Kyle Ross says 2 power walls. Dang, actually 2 power walls is considered like the minimum. So 3 power walls would be more ideal. Let's see. All set miner. Patrick Gligan is famous. Yes, we love Patrick Gligan here. He's great. Integrity Guy, holy smokes. Patrick Gligan, famous, infamous is the goal. Yes. Patrick Gigerson is awesome. He's a great guy. Creating Space, I round that up to 78. That is correct. Kyle Ross says 50% parts, 50% labor. Expect 8 kilowatt numbers versus the full 11.738 kilowatt. Yes. I'll be getting to all those fine details in a moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to cover that, but everything you are saying is correct. The rated solar capacity output is an average of what you would get in a 1-year time. It's not exactly what the... let me rephrase that. It is the... so my understanding is if they assign you a system that can, quote, produce that amount of power, that number is like best case scenario, and you're probably not going to be making that top amount. What you want to look at, right, is that total kilowatt value that they estimate you to have, and I don't have that document up, and you divide that by the months, and that'll be your average kilowatts per month. And in my opinion, as long as you're above that every day, you're okay. You're doing better than normal. But yeah, you're not going to be making 13.6 kilowatt hours per hour. That would be freaking insane, because then I'd be making almost 60 something kilowatts a day, which is more than enough to get my mining habit kicked. Let's see. Creating Space, can we talk cams at the end of stream? It sure is. Creating Space says, long stream night, 11 viewers, 3 likes. Hit that like! Yes! We got like 10 concurrent viewers right now and only 5 likes right now. Let's hit that like button, guys. Make sure that you let YouTube know how much you like it. Yeah, so let me get back to that quote I showed you, and I'll continue to go over it. So, by the way, this credit right here is from it's from me using someone's referral, and it's supposed to be $500. I don't know why it's $250. It should probably get fixed pretty soon. Yeah, 2 power walls. So the cost of a generator to install, like a natural gas generator or something, is roughly around $10,000 to $15,000. And yeah, it would, you know, provide energy continuously as long as there's gas and all that. I personally like the Powerwall idea because it is 26 kilowatts of power that, you know, you don't need the full 26 kilowatt. You just need that 26 kilowatt to last for roughly 19 to 18 hours a day, because for 5 hours a day, you'll be getting sunlight, and you'll be able to charge up the batteries and stuff if there was a power outage. And the power walls are almost completely silent. There's a little bit of noise, but there's a diagram that shows where they're mounted. They're not going to be any residential living areas where I won't be able to hear them. So that is kind of the cost of I am considering as like backup power, or the convenience of having a standby generator that will basically never fail because it needs no maintenance. So yeah, it is quite expensive, guys. Now, if I were to able to use that tax credit loophole thing, right? So I got some quotes. This one actually went around quite a bit. I got like 10 different quotes for a new roof, okay? I got these quotes for my house, and they quoted me between $10,000 to $20,000 to replace my roof. Now notice the minimum cost, the cheapest guy was 10 grand to give me a new roof. And Tesla's only charging, okay, they're only charging $6,500. So even that in itself is a little bit of a deal there. And just in my opinion, yeah, it's very expensive. Don't get me wrong, it's a premium product. But if we were to compare this to the equivalent regarding panels and a premium roof product like really high-end shingles or a low-end metal roof, we're talking well above 100 grand for the whole project. So as expensive as it may seem, I personally believe it's not a bad deal, and also it adds value to the house. Now, there's one problem with this whole thing. So where I live is not really an affluent area. Part of the reason why I'm here is that it's cheap. That's the reason why I moved in this area. And that's going to cause some issues with the resale value, because the comps in the area are only around 250 to 500. It's not, usually these goes on, you know, 700, 800 $1 million houses. So being that the comps in my area are pretty low, this may not be a very good investment. But there's one other side to this that I haven't told you about, and this is how it might work out for me. So regarding taxes, right? And by the way, guys, I am not a tax financial person, professional, whatever. Everything I say, you know, can be used against you in the court of law, all that stuff, right? But according to the tax professionals I talked to, the roof credit, which is 30%, which would roughly be $21,000 for me, could be applied for, I think it's 5 years or something like that. That's not important. What's more important is that if I make videos on this to the point where it's effective enough and it's considered enough to be part of the video, whatever that means, I gotta find out that definition. This is all an entire tax write-off, and it can also depreciate over time. I don't know. I have to talk to my tax professional to get the final details on that figured out. The part about the re-roofing part, I know that's how that part does not qualify for the federal tax credit, but I might be able to use that as a write-off year one, so get $6,500 off on my taxable income on top of the credit. So it's all very complicated, and you know, regardless of people's opinions on, you know, subsidies and whatnot, hey, they're there, and I'm going to take advantage of them while they're there. All right, let me take a look at chat real quick, and we'll keep on going. Let's see. Patrick Gligan says, yeah, tell me again why my Canon M50 is the single best budget camera to have ever existed. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Mark II is better now, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, guys, so that's all I have about Tesla, really. I don't really have much more regarding Tesla specifically. Oh, did I just close my Google Doc? I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I got to open that back up. So I know we're going to talk about RAM and stuff like that. So let me just go, because I'm not going to remember. I got to look at my notes here. Tek Torrent Podcast. Reopen my Google Doc. Okay, so yeah, anyways, yeah, now I remember. So the mining thing, that's how it feeds into my Tesla Solar, and that can potentially give me long-term benefits. So you guys know about the cost. Obviously, I got to take out a loan. I don't have, you know, $80,000 in cash just sitting there. It's going to be about roughly $1,000 a month over 10 years, roughly. And of course, I could pay that off early if I get a lot of money. My current electric bill is between $500 to $1,600 a month. And with this system set up in the summer, I should generate enough credits to where I will never have an electric bill again. That's because in this coming winter, I plan on heating my house with no combustion, hopefully, with a heat pump, because the temperatures around here don't go below 0 degrees Fahrenheit very often. They do go below freezing quite often, but below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, there's only like 5 days or 6 days a year where that happens, and I'm not too concerned about it. I can always plug in a resistance heater if that's the case. So I had an RMA with Corsair. Do I have the box here? No, it's over here. So this is the RAM I bought about, I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago at this point. It's a DDR4 Corsair Vengeance Pro, but look very carefully. It's 128 gigabytes of RAM, 4x32, 3600 hertz. And you guys are going to probably want to know the, does it say on here? It does not. The timings. I'm pretty sure it says it here, but I don't really know how to read it. It's a C18, I know that. But I don't know the detailed timings. So, thank you very much to Creating Space Andrew, by the way. He did help me out quite a bit trying to figure out this problem. So basically what happened was I started getting all these issues while I was trying to edit videos, and a bunch of weird things started happening, and it was not cool. It was not kosher. And it kept having issues and having blue screen death crashes. And it was just very not, it was not good. It was bad. So we did a memory test. Andrew helped me swap them out, gave me some tips on what to do. And yeah, one of the modules was bad. So I contacted Corsair, let them know, showed them my original purchase receipt, all that good stuff. And yeah, they approved my RMA. But the only problem is I had to send in the entire kit, and they wouldn't pre-ship one to me even if I paid for it. So after I sent in my 4 sticks of RAM, and I took some sticks out of my own unused mining rig to just keep my computer going, about 2 weeks later, brand new set in the mail. It did come via FedEx, and I did have to sign for it, which sucked. Because that means I had to be home or something like that. But yeah, brand new stick, computer's running fine, and I got brand new RAM, which is nice because I'm sure it might have worn out a little bit over this time. So it's really nice to have that RAM back and get that problem fixed. Let's take a look at chat. My chat window seemed to be having an error, so I'm going to refresh it. Guys, we got 9 consecutive views, 8 people watching right now, and only 7 likes. Make sure you guys hit that like button so it matches. 69 likes would be ideal, but, not required. Let's see. Creating Space says, it seems like PC building is slowing way down. Techman TY says, wowza. Creating Space says, same model RAM. Yes, it is exactly the same model and make. It is brand new, though. The package I got was brand new. This was unopened. It was sealed. It doesn't say RMA. It's not in a weird box. This is a retail package, so it's kind of cool. I basically got brand new RAM. The lifetime warranty does hold true, as long as you bought it from a reputable source. Yeah, so that's the thing with the RAM. Now, here, my friends, is a GoPro. Okay, this is not it. I'm actually packaging up the one that has a problem. This has the maximum lens mod, whatever they want to call it. It's the max lens mod. You can kind of see it right there. It says right there. I think kind of see it. There we go. Max lens mod. So basically what this does is it kind of makes the fisheye effect even more, so you can see even more. And I'll explain why I got this, because this cost $100. Why I got this, which is funny because that costs like 1/4 of the price of the camera, which is insane. So I bought a used GoPro on eBay, and it was having all these issues, so I had to return it. It turned out the GoPro itself is bad. It's got something wrong with the firmware or the software. I tried the update. I tried the formatting SD card. What it would do is as soon as you start recording, it would just randomly turn off randomly and stop recording. So you lose that part of your image, your video recording. It would just go away. The problem with that is that, well, I kind of want to record stuff. I don't want to just have it gone and not know about it. I turned the beeper on, which I usually don't have it on because it makes a lot of noise. That way I would know when it would stop. And luckily the eBay guy is willing to accept the return. So the reason why I have the Mega Lens Mod, the fisheye on here, it gives me a wider perspective field of view, which I think will better improve the focal range. So right now the minimum focusing distance is allegedly 1 foot, right? Because this is like one of those ones that have a really high aperture and can see everything at focus. So when my dash is literally 4 inches away, it's kind of out of focus because it's too close. So I use the max lens mod, then I use the narrow version of the lens to try to get in real close to get a better shot of my dash for my car. If you guys don't know, I do make car videos every now and then, and I wanted to capture the dash in real time with that. So yeah, I got that thing returned, and this GoPro is pretty good. I got the special battery door on here. Is that a hole right there that allows you to put your USB-C cable in there and then charge up the camera? I do have the good old black and white Enduro battery. All this means is that this battery will just last a lot longer and it won't go as bad, and it allegedly can handle more heat and all this other stuff. For the graphics card, for the memory card I'm using, it's just a Samsung 256 Pro. Not sure if you can see that there. You can kind of see it right there. And it is authentic. I double checked before I went ahead. I got it from a reputable source. These SD cards, they used to be expensive, but not anymore. They used to cost a lot of money. I remember when these things were like, you know, like $100, but I think I got this one for like $34 or something, or $60. It wasn't a lot from what I remember. All right, we're gonna take a look at chat before we move on. Let's see here. Techman TY, to be sure to update your RAM's firmware. What? You can update RAM firmware? I had to do that with my build with Corsair software. Okay, I did not know that. I'm gonna have to actually check that out. I didn't know you had to. What? RAM has firmware? Okay, it makes sense, but I didn't know you had to update it. Man, I'm gonna have to go get that now. Patrick Glygagian says mega fish lens. Yeah, that is right. It is a big fish lens. Patrick Glygagian says the random thermal shutdowns seem to be battery related. The new version of the batteries are gray and run cooler. Yeah, so the thermal shutdown, that's what I thought it was, but I have a couple of GoPros and the other ones weren't doing that. Only that used one I got off on eBay. The guy did accept the return, so I'm in the process of returning that, getting that refunded. But I might get the Insta360 camera. It's on sale, $60 off right now on Amazon. I don't know if I want to buy it or not because it's $700. Creating Space says the firmware may just be for RGB controller. Interesting. Techman TY says IQ software, I believe. Yeah. So I actually had to get rid of. Okay. I gotta remember this correctly, but something was happening on my computer and it was causing it issues and blue screens of death. And it was the IQ software that was interfering with my other software for the Aqua Computer module, which, thank God, the creators of Aqua Computer, an Aqua Computer fan controller module, all that thing, after you program it, the software and everything, the settings are saved on flash memory on the device. So it doesn't need to be connected to a computer at all, which is, you know, thank the Lord. I about to freaking lose my mind. Everything's connected to software on your computer, man. If you have a failure, you know, your water cooling system's just not going to work. So, that software I had was causing all these issues, and I just uninstalled it, and it fixed all my problems. The RS software was also causing issues too, and I just hate that we have like 85 different softwares for controlling RGB nowadays. It's really annoying with keeping up with all the software. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. I need more water, folks. My throat is getting dry. Alright, so the last thing I have on my list is Andrew wants to talk about cameras. So it takes roughly 10 to 20 seconds for this part of the stream to catch up to live chat. So Andrew, why don't you let me know in live chat what you were thinking about. Patrick Legan says, I have an extra action cam still in the box though. Yeah, I would ideally like 3 action cams. So the one single channel for my dash, I would like a 360 for the middle of my car, and just another camera down below for my feet that shows the pedals. I just think that'd be a nice dynamic shot we could cut between them when we talk about it. So Andrew, why don't you tell me what you want to talk about? I'm gonna go get some more water because I'm getting a dry throat. So I'll be right back. Let's see here. I'm just gonna leave it on. Yeah, I got no I'll be right back ones. So I'll just be literally just be right back. And no, guys, I am not advertising for Secret Labs. I paid for this chair. I paid for this chair with my own darn money. They did not give me any money for this thing. It is all me. All right, so Andrew wants to talk about Creating Space wants to talk about Sony's new full-frame creator cam, the ZVE1. It's full frame? I thought it was crop sensor. Let me take a look it up. The Z... Here, let me just do this real quick. And we will look at it together. Transition to desktop. Alright, it's called the ZV-E1, right? Ah, that thing's expensive. $2,200? Alpha ZVE1 full frame interchangeable lens mirrorless camera vlog camera. Dude, a vlog camera that costs $2,200? What the hell? What is Sony smoking? It looks a lot like the A6000 series though. Looks like an A6000 series camera. And, oh, sorry, my head is covering this, huh? Let me fix that. Let me move my head. Ooh, no, I don't want to move that. Let me move my head over to the other side and make myself smaller. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it here. Man, that thing looks expensive, man. Take a look at this. Got a nice... Oh, we got a cover right there with the switch. That's for the memory card, it seems, and looks like it's... That almost looks like it's taking their new memory cards that are really expensive. Got mini HDMI, which I hate. The most fragile thing in the world. Yeah, this got strong, like, A6000 mixed with the, like, EV30, what's it called? Their new cinema camera for creators, which costs just as much as this one. 10-bit processing. That's nice. What does this upgradable mean? Is this a subscription service? Let's take a look at specifications. All right, so we got recording formats, all that good stuff. Image. So yeah, it is a 12 mega. Okay, so this is a native 4K sensor. Oh, that's what they're doing. So this is a native 4K image sensor. It can do 14-bit raw out. That's nice. If you had like a Ninja 5 Atmos, this would work really well with that. It's got all the standard recording modes. Looks like, does it have 4K I? Yep. So I means all inclusive. So if you guys don't know, when you're recording on your camera, it actually, depending on the bit rate, the format you're using, if like this shot right now. So for example, let me switch over back to me. I'll explain this and move on. The shot right now, so the way that this video is being compressed, the only thing that's actually being recorded is the movement. So the more movement there is, the more bigger the file. The reason being, like these sides right here that you see, that's a static image, and it's literally just playing that over as a picture. So it saves on, the type of compression. Me and everything that I'm, like all this is what it's actually saving. So the I stands for all inclusive, which means it's recording the whole thing each time. And that just gives you more latitude because you have more data to do stuff with. See here, I got the standard. Now how many, okay, so this is what I'm curious about. Focus points, 700 phase detection. Still images, so it is still a picture camera. So it's got 6. Yeah, so for movies, we got 627 phase detection focus points, which is pretty good. That's enough to get a good chunk of the sensor area. And let me look at the sensitivity. Where is it? So it can go up to a crazy high ISO as well. It can go to 409,000 ISO, which is nice. You always want that higher range. It's got steady shot, all that standard stuff. I really don't know why someone would buy this instead of the what is it called? The FX30. What's the difference between that and the FX30? It's almost cheaper depending on which variant you get. So why would I not just buy this FX30? Oh, it's doxing me. Oh well, whatever. You guys already know where I live. So this FX30 right here, right? So it costs, how much do they want? They want $2,200. It comes with a freaking $600 attachment. So the handle and this audio thing is pretty nice, actually. It doesn't come with the mic. It comes with, where is it? There's a picture of it earlier. It comes with this device right here on top. So that, okay, so one big difference. Okay, I know you guys are gonna get mad. This is a crop sensor. Okay, it's an APS-C sensor. It's not a full frame. So that is the thing. I don't know. This one seems better to me personally, but full frame is nice. I'm not gonna lie. I would never go back. I just don't know. It's very expensive for a vlogging camera. Who's paying $2,200 for a vlogging camera? And don't say me, okay? Don't say me, because I would. All right, I'm going to take a look back at live chat and see what's going on over here. All right, let's see. Creating space. The ZVE10 is APS-C. The ZVE1 is full frame. Can do wide angle and still have background blur thanks to full frame. You're thinking the FX3? Yeah. I was just talking about it. Apparently, the 4K 120 is a free upgrade in the United States, may be paid elsewhere. Oh, okay. Patrick Glugglin says at $2,000, Fuji X-T4 is where my cash would go. Not a bad camera. I've used one. I've used one. I never had one. My friend had one from his film school, and it's pretty good. Creating Space says same sensor as the A7 III. No, really? Okay, so I have an A7S III, and it is a fantastic, phenomenal camera. If you're telling me for almost $1,300 less, I can buy this and have the exact same sensor and processor, I am on board, because my A7S III cost me $3,500. Like I actually had to pay for that, and it was very expensive. But this thing only cost $2,200. For a main camera, it might be pretty good. So that is a big turn on. If it is in fact the same sensor, I'll have to look that up. Patrick Lagland says maybe it's a budget alternative to Red. Nah, no. The budget alternative to Red's on. So what makes Red so like amazing is not actually the it's not like the stuff. It's the, so if you ever like held a Red camera, it has a lot of engineering that goes into keeping it reliable. Okay. Like the sensor will, that camera will never overheat, even in the middle of the desert. There is cases where it did fail, but it's designed to be very reliable, and that's why they cost a lot of money. On top of that, they spent a lot of money on advertising. There's many famous pictures of people holding Reds, and the Reds are really to combat the what's it called, Pantavision or whatever, the cinematography cameras, the actual ones with film. Because the price to rent one of those film cameras is almost as much as it is to buy a Red camera. So that's the main target for that. I personally would probably never have a Red. I just don't need anything that good. Also, when you get into those type of cinema cameras, you need an operator. It's difficult to use them by yourself because the way they're designed, almost everything's manual, and the automatic features just aren't as a priority on those things. Creating Space says the flip out LCD on the ZV focused on creator content. Yeah, well, my A7S III also has a flip out LCD as well. Let's see here. Creating Space, the FX3 is the full frame version. Yes, that is true. Creating Space says, I'm waiting for you to review before I buy one. You're waiting for me to review it. I mean, I guess I could buy one and make it into a $2,200 tax write-off, but no way, bro. That's a lot of money just to review something. So no, I'm not. I don't know. I do want to get one more camera, but I'd rather sell all my cameras and make them the same. It's when you're changing cameras a lot, I'd rather just have everything to be exactly the same. Ideally, I have like, I don't know, like 3 FX3s or something like that, but that'd be $10,000, so that's expensive. Techman TY says, what makes Red so great? Patriotism. Patriotism. Oh, because they're allegedly made in America with Chinese components? Yes, I guess you can say that. Yeah, most of their components are machined and manufactured here, but I believe they're now made in China. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Almost everything's made in China now. Usually, if something's made in America, they, advertise that pretty loudly. Alright, guys, so that is the last bit of thing I wanted to talk about. We talked about this ZV-E1. Now, if it in fact has the... So ZV-E1 VS... So E1 VS S7S3. Let's take a look at the differences. So, the viewfinder is different. Body design's different. I knew that. Heat management's different. Yep. The ZV-E1 probably doesn't have as good a heat management. The ZV-E1 can only be used one card. Oh yeah, okay, so that's different. It can only put one card in the ZV-E1. Autofocus, what? I thought they were both the same. Huh. So the ZV-E1 actually has a slightly better autofocus, has intelligent modes, which, I hate intelligent modes. They're great for like run and gun if you want to use your camera like a phone. So it's good for that. Image stabilization. Both cameras have... so the A7S III has 5.5 stops and the ZV-E1 has 5 stops. A little bit better shutter. Extra features. Now this is what I want to know about. Breathing compensation. Now that is interesting. I wonder how they fix that. Because that would be really awesome if I had that. My lenses have some breathing when we do a lot of crazy changes in focus. Let's see here. Webcam without the need for extra software or plugin. That's kind of cool. I mean, mine can do that too, though. It does need a little bit extra software, though. So this is where I was getting at right here, dude. This, okay? Mine cost $3,500, and it's already a year old. This costs $2,200. If it really is that cheap, if I buy 3 of these, that's only $6,600. A savings of nearly $4,000. So that's pretty nice. Prices are all also as of early April, so 2023. It's kind of nice. All right, let's see. Is the sensor the same? Let me find the word sensor. So they both... Okay, so these are the things that it has in common. So it does both have the same sensor. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! This actually might be worth the money now. I mean, if it has the same sensor, I don't really care about anything else. It's a newer camera anyway. As long as the heat management's good. I mean, I'm going to be outputting, dumping it to a Ninja Atmos. I might be interested. Actually might. All right, let me take a look at chat real quick before we move on to the next subject or talk more about this. Creating Space says you should do a talking head comparison between the ZV-E1 and the A7S3. Curious if it has any advantages. Techman TY says zinger on the color red. Oh, you're talking about communism? Maybe. Patrick Murphy says I hate intelligent anything. Yeah, so Patrick Murphy, the intelligent features on cameras, you know, there is a time and place for it, especially for newer creators that don't really understand or want to take the time to learn about aperture, you know, the triangle, right? So that's your exposure, aperture, and ISO, okay? A lot of people don't want to, you know, talk about that or whatever. It's okay for them, and guess what? Most of the time, no one's going to notice. I'd say like more than half the people out there. I noticed, like when Red Panda is using the wrong damn lens on his camera, I noticed stuff like that. Let's see, Creating Space says it'll do face detection on 2 people on a full auto mode. Adjust aperture to focus both on different planes. Now that is interesting. The reason I say that is traditionally cameras have not been designed to focus on multiple focal things. It's just one. So if it can do multiple, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see how that one works. All right, guys, if you have any final questions for this week's live stream, just go ahead and let me know in live chat. Otherwise, we're going to be ending it here pretty soon. Yeah, a talking head comparison between the 2 cameras. Maybe I'll buy one just for that. I'm not sure. Oh, gosh, you said his name. What? Red Panda? I mean, nothing wrong with him. He's a cool guy. I've talked to him many times. He seems like a genuine guy. I mean, he is a bigger YouTuber now, so you know he's got to make ends meet and stuff. But you know, I honestly think he's a good person. Never met him in person though. Okay, so actually, I might have met him in person because I recognize his voice, and that's all I'm gonna say. If you guys follow me and you know what I do and you know the type of trips I go on, you can figure it out. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see. Creating Space says, don't say it a 3rd time or he will appear. No. We don't want him to show up. This is not a mining channel anymore, okay? It never was and never will be. It is a technology channel with a small focus on mining, okay? It just happened to be something we're covering because it was popular. No, you said it again. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, so let me know if you're watching after the fact, you know, in the comments down below, what you would like to see regarding cameras and stuff. And any questions for you have for me, make sure you join our Discord, which is linked in the description below as well, guys. Panda is my brother. Techman TY says, oh yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Patrick Guggen says, multifocal feels like artificial burka or bruka. Broca? Yeah. Okay, you know, a lot of people say, like, there's certain ways to... Bokeh? So, for those of you that don't know, bokeh is the out-of-focus background. So, like, if you look behind me, see my background's out of focus? Let me see if I could, like, reproduce it here. So, if I do one of these things, and then I have, like... So, if I do this, maybe I can reproduce the bokeh for those of you that don't know. So, if I have a light right here, right? And then... I do that. Okay, so I'm not really able to get the bokeh effect, but you got some nice stars. Got some nice star effect. So yeah, that's kind of a bokeh. You see how the light's not crisp? It's kind of turning into like a ball almost. That's what bokeh is, when the there's the depth of field is shallow enough to have those beautiful balls behind you, and those balls are actually like a refraction in the lens type of deal. And the shape of the ball is dependent on your aperture, like the shape of the aperture, how many blades it has, and the lens and the camera elements itself. It's pretty cool stuff. That's kind of like intro to cameras, what everyone goes after because they see it everywhere. They think it looks perfect, cinematic. I too went through the same thing, and nowadays bokeh's not as important to me as it used to be. Hitting that like on the way out. Yes, please do. Now we have 8 likes on that channel. All right, guys. Thank you to everyone that joined us here this week. Remember, guys, we'll be here at the same bad time, same bad channel next week. Thank you to everyone that joined this week. And again, guys, please go ahead and join the description. Link down in the description below if you haven't already. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.